A while ago I released a video with the 9 titans that we most want to see in action in Godzilla x Kong the New Empire or in another live-action project such as the Monarch series, and you commented a lot saying which monsters you like too. I wanted to see beyond those, so in this video I separated the 14 main kaijus that we want to see in Legendary's Monsterverse according to your opinion. Let's go! Welcome back to Nerds Insights, your daily nerd news channel. I read all the comments and got the name of 14 kaijus that you provided me. There's a lot that I didn't even know about, and so the video doesn't get long and tiring because you know that I like to be objective. I'm going to talk briefly about each titan without going into too much depth, also because I don't know enough to talk about it. So leave your like on this video to help strengthen the work of informing you all every day. Here's a news channel made to inform you, but the information only arrives if you are subscribed and with the bell activated. All information was taken from the Gojopedia page, so if any information is wrong, correct me in the comments. 1. Zilla 98. Zilla 98 is a bit complicated. There are people who love and there are people who hate this movie. Zilla, also known as Godzilla, is a daikaiju created by TriStar Pictures that first appeared in the 1998 film, Godzilla, and subsequently reappeared in the sequel series, Godzilla the Series. He is the byproduct of nuclear testing on a species of marine iguana, mutating into a giant monster that proceeded to attack New York in 1998 and nested there. After his death, the kaiju was resurrected as Cyber Godzilla by aliens from the Leviathan spaceship, resurrected it using both alien and human technology. 2. Megalon. Megalon is a gigantic insectoid being that lives deep underground in the subterranean kingdom of Seatopia. Megalon is seen as the Seatopians' god, and is called upon by them to defend their home from threats. Megalon is the god to the Seatopians, and he was their way to take revenge on the humans who were damaging their world with nuclear tests. They called upon Megalon to destroy the humans and sent the captured Jet Jaguar to guide the monster on his rampage through Japan. The people of Japan revolted and attacked the beast, to no avail. Help arrived when Goro Ibuki, the scientist who created Jet Jaguar, managed to free the robot from the control of the Seatopians. He sent Jet Jaguar to Monster Island to find Godzilla. In the time that Jet Jaguar was gone, Megalon was lost and confused. Jet Jaguar returned to Japan and reprogrammed himself to grow to kaiju size, then attacked Megalon, prompting the Seatopians to contact the M-Space Hunter Nebula aliens and ask for Gigan's assistance. Gigan arrived and he and Megalon double-teamed Jet Jaguar. Eventually, Godzilla arrived and joined forces with Jet Jaguar against Gigan and Megalon. After a long battle, Gigan retreated back to outer space, leaving Megalon at the mercy of Godzilla and Jet Jaguar. The two monsters pummeled the helpless Megalon before he finally burrowed back to Seatopia. 3. Kamazats. Kamazats, also dubbed Titanus Kamazats, is a giant bat-like daikaiju that first appeared in the Monsterverse comic Kingdom Kong. Kamazats originated within the Hollow Earth, inhabiting a particularly dark portion of the subterranean ecosystem. He was known to the Iwi on Skull Island, who left ancient hieroglyphs near the island's Hollow Earth entry, predating every other Iwi writing that Monarch had found, which seemingly prophesized Kamazat's future emergence that would lead to the island's own storm barrier permanently enshrouding it. An ancient Guarani prophecy also seemingly referred to Kamazats as the Eternal Bat, and the destroyer of the stars and mankind. 4. Varan. Varan is a trifibian kaiju created by Toho that first appeared in the 1958 Toho film. Varan is an ancient reptilian creature known as a varanopode, which lived from the Triassic through Cretaceous periods. Varan escaped extinction and lived for millions of years at the bottom of a lake in the Japanese countryside. Villagers living near the lake saw Varan as a god, giving him the title of Baradaji Sanjin. In Destroy All Monsters, Varan is considerably smaller than he was in his debut film, and is explained to actually be a juvenile in official books. 5. Bagan. Bagan is an ancient dragon-like kaiju created by Toho that was originally planned to appear in the Heisei-era Godzilla film series. He eventually made his debut in the 1993 Godzilla game Super Godzilla, borrowing his origin in Mothra vs. Bagan. Bagan was an ancient mythological monster that hailed over China in the distant past. Alien invaders seeking to conquer Earth traveled through time and procured the slumbering Bagan back to present day. They enhanced Bagan's power using a serum created by Genshiro Shirogami containing genetic material from Godzilla and King Ghidorah, so Bagan could overpower the former. 6. Gios. Gios to Gamera is like Rodan to Godzilla. Gios is a vampire bat-like pterosaur kaiju created by Dai and the titular main antagonist of the Gamera franchise, that first appeared in the 1967 Gamera film, Gamera vs. Gios. In the Showa series, Gios has no definitively explained origin. and is discovered living in a large cave. In Gamera vs. Goron, it is revealed that there are multiple silver spacefaring Gios, suggesting that Gios may be an extraterrestrial species, or that there are multiple species of Gios specific to other planets. These silver space Gios seem to lack the weakness to sunlight of the black-hued Earth variety. 7. Leviathan. Leviathan, also dubbed Titanus Leviathan, is a giant aquatic daikaiju created by Legendary Pictures to appear in the MONSTERVERSE. Leviathan appears in Legendary's 2019 film Godzilla King of the Monsters as a name appearing on a monitor, and it is briefly mentioned in Godzilla King of the Monsters, the official movie novelization. In Skull Island, a photograph of the Loch Ness Monster can be seen on the interior of the Once in a Maritime, a ship staffed by cryptid enthusiasts. It is based on the 1934 surgeon's photograph. In Godzilla King of the Monsters, Leviathan was found in Loch Ness, Scotland by Monarch, and Outpost 49 was built around it. When Ghidorah calls all the Titans, Leviathan breaks free and begins to hunt with its new pack. When the ORCA calls all Titans to Boston, Leviathan does not arrive in time for the battle and does not see Godzilla become the new alpha of all Titans, except Kong. 8. Baragon. Baragon is a reptilian kaiju created by Toho that appeared in the 2001 film Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah. Giant monsters all-out attack. Baragon is one of the ancient guardian monsters of Japan. Alongside Mothra and King Ghidorah, Baragon was originally a rogue beast that threatened Japan before being slain by a group of ancient warriors. These warriors purified the souls of Baragon and the other beasts, causing them to gradually rejuvenate into benevolent guardians of Japan. 9. Gorosaurus. Gorosaurus is a dinosaur kaiju created by Toho that first appeared in the 1967 Toho film, King Kong Escapes. According to the Godzilla movie studio tour, it said in Gorosaurus bio that he is an abrupt descendant of Allosaurus. This is relevant to Gorosaurus design, as most dinosaurs from the Allosauridae family have a triangular-shaped head. Gorosaurus lived on Mondo Island when he attacked Susan Watson and tried to eat her. King Kong attacked him and saved her. Gorosaurus used his kangaroo kick multiple times on Kong, but he was defeated when Kong broke his jaw. 10. Titanicus. This kaiju, I didn't find anything about him. Just a video from the Dangerville channel, making the presentation of a comic and an action figure of this titan. 11. Abaddon. Abaddon, also dubbed Titanus Abaddon, is a giant daikaiju created by Legendary Pictures that appears in Legendary's 2019 film Godzilla King of the Monsters as a name briefly seen on a monitor. At some point before 2019, Monarch established an outpost around Abaddon in Devil's Tower, Wyoming. When Ghidorah calls all the Titans, Abaddon breaks free and begins to hunt with its new pack. When the ORCA calls all Titans to Boston, Abaddon does not arrive in time for the battle and does not see Godzilla become the new alpha of all Titans, except Kong. 12. Yamana Nooroki. The Yamana Nooroki of the MONSTERVERSE, also dubbed Titanus Yamana Nooroki, is a giant daikaiju created by Legendary Pictures that appears in Legendary's 2019 film, Godzilla, King of the Monsters, as a name briefly seen on a monitor. At some point, Yamana Nooroki had Monarch Outpost 91 built around it in Mount Fuji, Japan. When Ghidorah calls all the Titans, Yamana Nooroki breaks free and begins to hunt with its new pack, chasing down a cruise ship in the Pacific Ocean. When the ORCA calls all Titans to Boston, Yamana Nooroki does not arrive in time for the battle and does not see Godzilla become the new alpha of all Titans, except Kong. 13. Gearsharp. Gearsharp is an unmade cobra kaiju from the unmade 1972 Gamera film Gamera vs. Gearsharp. According to the storyboards of the scrapped film, Gearsharp was a monster that was to attack Shinjuku in Japan, prompting Gamera to arrive and battle her. During the battle, Gearsharp sticks her tongue down Gamera's throat, absorbing most of Gamera's energy, which paralyzes Gamera, turning him white and ballooning Gearsharp to enormous proportions. With her newly acquired strength, Gearsharp proceeds to destroy Shinjuku. Time passes and Gamera recovers to confront Gearsharp again, this time in the suburbs of Tokyo. During their second fight, Gearsharp swallows a few explosives. Gamera uses his fire on Gearsharp, but again the cobra absorbs it into her mouth. The fire, however, agitates the explosives inside Gearsharp's throat, and as a result, Gearsharp is brutally decapitated by the explosion. When two of Gearsharp's offspring emerge from her body, the JSDF moves in to exterminate the small monsters. However, Gamera intervenes, landing near the baby monsters. Gamera allows them to slither onto his back, flying away so that the military cannot harm the tiny Gearsharp serpents. Gamera takes them to a deserted tropical island, and proceeds to break off their horns and fangs, leaving the monsters on their new home where they won't do any harm to humanity. 14. Biolante. Biolante is a genetically modified rose kaiju hybrid created by Toho that first appeared in the 1989 Godzilla film, Godzilla vs. Biolante. Biolante is a Godzilla, rose, and human tribrid created by Genshiro Shiragami. Shiragami originally created a human and rose hybrid in 1984 by splicing the DNA of his daughter, Erika Shiragami, who was killed in a bio-major authorized bombing of his lab in Saradia, with that of a rosebush. As roses had been Erika's favorite flower, it was later suggested that as a result of the fusion, the plant developed a level of sentience which could only be detected by those with psychic abilities, like Miki Sagusa. Then, in 1990, Mount Mihara began to erupt, creating an earthquake that killed several roses. Panicking, Shiragami spliced samples of Godzilla's DNA given to him by the Japanese Self-Defense Force in order for Shiragami to help create the anti-nuclear energy bacteria that had been collected in 1984 with a single rose so that it could use Godzilla's advanced healing factor to become invincible. The fusion eventually further increased the plant's sentience and gave it the ability to move on its own, and it continued to evolve into what would soon become Biolante. Did I leave any kaiju you wanted to see in Godzilla X Kong the New Empire or the MonsterVerse out? Comment there who I'll do a part 3 here, and of course, to watch it you'll have to subscribe to the channel and keep the bell activated. Take care and see you next time.